Alex Myers has criticized hundreds of movies over the years, but this time around, he's the one getting criticized. After he posted a video on his YouTube channel reviewing Obsession, he was met with a swift amount of backlash, with a lot of people accusing him of being misogynistic and completely missing the entire point of the film. And the thing is, his response to this whole situation just makes it way worse. So far, he has lost almost 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking it all down because, to be honest, this whole situation is pretty disgusting. With that being said, let's dive right into it, shall we? First off, who is Alex Myers? Alex Myers was born on the 17th of May 1998, which would make him 38 years old. He is an American commentary YouTuber who reviews movies and gives his takes, basically summarizing it for the viewers who wants to know his own opinion or his view on the movie. I have personally been watching Alex Myers for about 6 years. Even when I had to flash my laptop, which I've had for 4 years, the first person I literally watched is Alex Myers. I still have the screenshot from 2 years ago. The video is still there. The screenshot from the video is still there. During that time, I was still in school and network was extremely bad. And there are times where I couldn't just bring myself to watch an entire 2-hour movie because, again, I had school. So most times I'll just watch Alex Myers for him to just summarize the whole thing. And I always realize that he doesn't really get into the nitty gritty. And most times I'll just end up watching the movies anyways because I don't really understand what's going on. It was nothing really revolutionary. And I understand that most people who summarize movies like this might not really get into the nitty gritty and would just summarize surface level things. So yes, I understand. Later on in the video, I'm going to get into why exactly I stopped watching Alex, but for now, let's talk about the current situation at hand. About a week ago, Alex decided to take to YouTube to post his review of the movie Obsession. Now, if you've never heard of Obsession before, it is basically a movie that has been making wave all around the world. The budget for this movie was around under $1 million, while they were able to make over $300 million in revenue. That is absolutely insane. And it has broken a lot of records so far because people like the movie and the message behind it. The whole plotline revolves around two friends. The guy likes the girl, but the girl does not like him, so he decided to buy a magic wish stick and wish that she would love him more than any other person in the world. And you might think this would probably end well, but no, it did not. Because the girl literally went berserk and killed 2 people, and the guy had to kill himself to reverse the curse. Yes, it is really that deep. This is just surface level of what actually happened, but just know that the guy is selfish and he's a bad guy. He is the villain. Please keep this in mind. Alex decided to make a video review of this particular movie and his takes were absolutely insane. In Alex's video, he literally said that people are trying to paint Bear in a bad light. Mind you, Bear is the guy who has a crush on the girl and the girl's name is Nikki. So according to him, people are just trying to paint Bear as this bad incel misogynistic guy who just wants control over a woman's body. And he didn't just stop there. He went as far as to saying that Bear is just a shy, socially awkward person who is oftentimes misunderstood.
And to Bear's credit, he's not immediately jumping at the chance to take advantage of her or whatever. Like, he gives her privacy and space. He doesn't want to make it weird. He turns around when she takes her shirt off. And based on what people were saying about this movie online, I expected Bear to be this horribly angry, misogynistic incel dude, right? But up until this point, he's just some super socially awkward loser who has a crush on a girl and he uses a $7 wishing toy that he assumes is not going to work. And then when Nikki starts acting like this, he's very confused and put off by it.
Not only is that comment so off-putting, but I saw a lot of people making good points, like maybe Alex sees himself in Bear. That is why he's able to make excuses for him for some reason.
Why are these men so frustrated with this movie? Why are they pushing back on this? Why are they pushing back with the concept of Bear being this bad guy? And then it hit me. The reason is a lot of these men see themselves in Bear. They see themselves in this nice guy who struggles to get women, but it's not their fault. It's the women's fault. And these men are refusing to kind of grapple with seeing themselves in this villain character. They would rather demonize or villainize Nikki, or at the very least, justify Bear's actions as him just not really knowing and not understanding until the very end of the movie. It's because they see themselves as Bear. These men would rather jump through hoops trying to justify what Bear did or say that Bear wasn't in the wrong rather than kind of face themselves and their thoughts on women.
At this point, you might think maybe he stopped one way or the other. He just stopped saying very, very crazy things. But no, he did not. Alex decided to take it a step further by saying, to Bear's credit, he did not take advantage of her. He was giving Bear credit for not sleeping with her, when he got the chance to.
And he refused to take advantage of her even when it was like presented to him, right? Okay, see, this is my point. Like, given the circumstances, Bear's being pretty normal about this, okay? Given what he does and does not know by this point in the movie, like, he could have slept with her, or he could have taken some kind of advantage of her, but he was rather gentlemanly at the time. I mean, you know, for a guy who has this many Cosby sweaters. Wait, do you think this was on purpose? Like, do you think they dressed him like this intentionally?
How is this even an opinion? Why are you giving a man credit for not raping a woman? Are we in 1960? This is 2026, Alex, and I think you're old enough for you to comprehend that. Anytime I hear opinions like this, I'm just thinking to myself, is this person okay? Because why would you give credit to a person for not taking advantage of another person, especially in the context of rape? By the way, guys, you can now become a member on this channel. I have a members only video out right now. You can go ahead and watch it if you want to. And like I said in my other videos, all proceeds, and I mean every single one of them, goes towards a non-profit. There's a reason I really stopped mentioning it so much on this channel, is because it seemed like YouTube was limiting my reach whenever I mentioned it. But yes, all proceeds goes towards a non-profit. Thank you again to everyone who decides to subscribe to the membership. It does mean a lot to me. I don't really see people bringing up this part of the video, and I don't really know if I misheard, but at a certain point, Nikki dropped her crystal necklace down the drain, and Alex's response to that whole scene was very, very off-putting. He literally said something along the lines of, "You better get that while you still can."
Oh, no, crystal necklace. Bear, get out while you still can. But then again, Nikki is a hot Latina, so one can only remain strong for so long.
And this is not the only time Alex does something like this in the video. I personally think that Alex is so used to making all these sly comments and getting away with it, and that's why he keeps on doing it over and over again. Remember how I said earlier in the video, I'm going to tell you what exactly stops me, or why exactly I stopped watching Alex Meyers? It's because of the way he sexualizes women in his videos. At first, when I started watching him, I wasn't really noticing all these things until literally, I think 2024 or early 2025. It just started to become so off-putting, and I was like, why is this the case? Why is he always sexualizing women? I'm gonna give more examples. In this video where he was reviewing Obsession, he multiple times referred to Nikki as Latina mommy, this and that, making jokes because she's a Latina, making sexual jokes because she's a Latina. And at this point in time, it's not really necessary, because every movie has a point to it. There's a key point to every movie. There's a lesson to every movie. And if you guys have not already gotten the point, it is very, very off-putting for you to make sexual jokes about the victim in the movie. A victim that's being taken advantage of just because a man liked her. This is basically the worst time to ever make a sexual joke. Not that it's normal in any other context, but you get my point. To make this even worse, at the 14 minutes mark, Alex started going on this entire tangent about how Nikki is basically crazy, and again, he kept on mentioning the fact that she's Latina, making very inappropriate jokes and stereotypical jokes about Latinas.
Or like later on, we find out that maybe Ian and Nikki have been hooking up, right? But Bear doesn't learn this until the very end of the movie. So like, for example, if he'd found this out at the beginning of the movie and he was like, oh, so Nikki's just some slut that bangs every guy except me, huh? Well, I'll show you. Then yeah, he'd be like some misogynistic incel. And Bear is a blameless, innocent victim, okay? But I think some of you are a little too quick to attach motivation and subtext to this character that is not based on the movie. Like, it really seems like some of you want him to be a horrible, incel, intentionally malicious guy, regardless of what actually happens in the movie.
I'm sorry, how does this make any sense? And how has this guy been getting away with things like this, making sly comments like this? So what he's basically trying to say that Nikki is a slut because she slept with Ian but did not sleep with Bear, and that's supposed to be a normal reaction by calling a woman a slut? This guy is crazy, and crazy is probably an understatement.
He then goes on to basically say that the entire film, he is like just a dumb guy in a rom-com trying to get with Nikki. All of this stuff has plausible deniability. The wish that he makes, the call that he makes, every single little thing. Whenever she's on MDMA, like they claim she's on drugs and that's why she was acting weird, he literally says he could have slept with her, he could have taken advantage of her, but he didn't. That's like one of the first things he says about like whenever she was like really fucked up, when we see like the first instance where she comes to his house and is all weird, he says that about that situation, okay? So then whenever the movie goes on, he's like, oh, Bear's just being like silly and like liking Nikki and wanting a rom-com, and then whenever it gets to the point where Nikki asks him to kill her, he's like, please, Bear, kill me. This motherfucker goes, what is Bear supposed to do? Kill her and then spend the rest of his life in prison? Still sympathizing with Bear. Whenever Bear is on the phone call and finds out that the One Wish Willow is a real thing and hears Nikki screaming, he does not address the fact that Bear tried to change his wish and not cancel it at first. And then he sits there and says that at that point, Bear knows that he's like, the wish is real, but what is he supposed to do about it? What is he supposed to do? Kill himself? And then he goes, I shit you not, why, if he wished Nikki loved him so much, why isn't, let me get this exact quote, why isn't her love for him as selfless as you're claiming his for her should be? Basically saying, why wouldn't Nikki kill herself instead so that Bear doesn't have to? Because you guys expect Bear to kill himself for Nikki. Putting the blame still on Nikki. for this. Like, every single perspective, sympathizing with Bear. What is Bear supposed to do? Oh, this, that, and the third. Saying shitty things about Nikki, shitty things about women, sneaking those little misogynistic comments about nice guys finish last in there. It's a disgusting video.
Judging by what I have said, you can already tell that a lot of people were not having this review at all. They felt like Alex was intentionally defending Bear and saying things like, oh, this guy is just a bad guy, without actually diving into why he's a bad guy, but then kept on making excuses for him for some reason. So before Alex deleted the video, he decided to take to the comment section by pinning a comment saying, unfortunately, some of you are doing the very thing I talked about in this video. You're only seeing and hearing what you want out of my video instead of actually listening to what I'm saying. As I said multiple times in the video, Bear is bad. He does bad things. He's a villain. My video was in reaction to people saying that he's some type of evil incel from the beginning. I wanted to look at how he goes from just a normal dude into the villain. I say in the video that after he realizes the wish works, he goes on to be a bad guy and gets worse and worse. I didn't feel the need to show every instance of him being bad, like the post-dinner scene, because they are all covered by the statement itself. I literally said that he is bad multiple times. I'm not defending Bear in this video. I tried to make it clear that I am not defending him, but some of you are literally only hearing what you want to hear and not hearing the actual words I say in the video. I wanted to look at how it goes from a normal kind of depressed loser guy into the villain, and not that he's the villain from the beginning. SA is bad, Bear is bad, and he does very bad selfish things. I literally say this multiple times in the video. I truly do not understand how some of you are widely misrepresenting my video. I guess that's what he said, because mind you, he took down this comment. Yes, he took it down. Just because he said Bear is bad, SA is bad. By the way, keep in mind that he didn't really go into the nitty-gritty of the bad things that Bear did. He just said, yeah, this guy is bad. This guy is bad. But why exactly is he bad? And why exactly did you feel the need to defend him, even in places that there's literally not supposed to be any defense at all? After people literally started coming for him back to back, he took the comment down like I said earlier, and he also took the video down. Then he went on to release the most nonsensical response video I've literally ever seen in my entire life. Mind you, this apology video is supposed to be his second response to this entire situation. You would think he would have learned from the first one, right? No, he did not. The whole apology just gave, sorry if you feel offended. If you feel offended, sorry about that, but that's not what I meant, that's not what I meant at all.
I want to make this video. I'm going to keep it brief. I have my phone with me because I took some notes. I don't want to miss anything. And just to clear some things up. So first of all, I'm sorry if I worded my video in a way that made it sound like I am defending rape or pro-rape in some way. That is very much not the intention of the video. As I said in the beginning, it very much was meant to be a good faith sort of attempt at sort of looking at this movie as a work of fiction, as a piece of media to be consumed, the same way you would do with a book or anything like that.
At some point, he realized that people were not having the apology video, quote unquote apology video. He decided to take it down and release a statement on YouTube. I have taken both videos down relating to obsession. I am sorry to those who were hurt by them. I'll be more mindful of my words and jokes in the future. Wow, wow, even Sophie Silva was able to take more accountability than this 38-year-old man. Again, the first apology video was just given, I'm sorry if you felt offended by the jokes I made. I was not the one who wrote the jokes, but I was able to tell the jokes, and I just feel like it's normal, right? I'm sorry if you feel offended though.
Addressing some other comments, the Latina jokes were conceived by a Latina woman from Central America, and to me they seemed no more problematic than your average Instagram reel or like SNL skit, like the Bad Bunny Tia skit. To me, they seemed perfectly in line with all of that. Some people said that they were offended by those jokes. They were not meant to be as such. They were meant to be silly, written by someone who is in that group.
And trust me, I understand how this may look like, a movie about obsession where the viewers are literally obsessed with the movie and the plot of the movie, that they decide to cancel a YouTuber over his opinion. Yes, that's how it might look like in face value, but there's more to it. His opinions are inherently disgusting, and the fact that he does not see it as a big deal and they see it as a joke, how somebody makes a joke that is literally harmful, and then when you tell them, oh, this joke is very harmful and I don't think you're supposed to have or make this type of jokes in general, and they tell you it's just a joke now. It's just a joke, that's all. This is exactly what is given. So far, Alex Meyers has lost about 70,000, close to 80,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. That's my entire subscriber count. Imagine losing all that in just a span of days. That should show exactly how people did not really vibe with this entire controversy, and especially how he responded to it all. Anyways guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Don't forget to join my membership. You're helping a lot of people in that process. It means a lot to me. I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Bye.